Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. RHOBH Kyle Richards teases emotional and lonely season. RHOBH star Kyle Richards is teasing an emotional and lonely season 14. The hit Bravo reality series returns on November 19th, and it will be very different. So what is going on with Kyle that has her feeling so low and off? Keep reading for more details. Kyle Richards teases emotional and lonely season. There have been a plethora of ups and downs in Kyle Richards' many seasons of RHOBH. She is an OG of the franchise, so she has shared so much of her life with the audience. They have seen her strained relationships with her sisters, Kim Richards and Kathy Hilton. Furthermore, her sister, Kim's alcohol addiction has been a key storyline for several seasons. Battles with co-stars and cheating allegations have made hot topics, but Kyle has consistently returned. Season 12 ended with a huge blowout after Kyle and Kathy reconciled. They struggled to recover, but the following season, she and her husband of nearly 30 years, Mauricio Umansky, split. She wanted to lead a more peaceful and quiet life, having gotten sober and started working out with a trainer. Kyle even became very close to country singer Morgan Wade. Yet Mauricio was still out and about, socializing for his business and living his best life. They grew apart, and that was the end for them. It was unclear if Kyle would come back for season 14, but she has. Unfortunately, her friendship with Dorit Kemsley is on edge and they come to blows. According to Bravo, the season will have a lot of sad elements for Kyle, and it is all very personal. The mother of four noted that she does film with Mauricio for the new season. However, she shares that it was emotional to do those scenes with her estranged husband as he had just moved out. Same boat, different friendship. In season 13, Kyle Richards and Dorit Kemsley both were struggling in their marriages. Yet Kyle was with Morgan Wade a lot, something Dorit had a hard time with. She brought up that Kyle saw Morgan more and even had a K initial on her. There were also a lot of questions about her marriage and if Mauricio had been cheating, so she and Dorit fell out. That was interesting as they seemed to be in the same boat. In season 14, they are now officially single women, so they should have made amends, but that has yet to happen. So it may feel that Kyle is on an island alone, but time will tell. The news that Kyle Richards was gearing up for an emotional season wasn't surprising to longtime fans. After all, Richards has been a central figure on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for over a decade, and her life has played out in front of the cameras season after season. But this time, something feels different. The gravity of her words, emotional and lonely, weighs heavily. For fans and viewers who know Richards' usual resilient, no-nonsense presence, the idea of her appearing vulnerable adds a new dimension to her storyline. As the season unfolds, we begin to see what Kyle may have meant when she used those poignant descriptors. While her friendships with some of the other cast members, such as Dorit and Sutton, remain intact, they aren't quite enough to fill the void left by the shifting dynamics in her personal life. At the center of her emotional turmoil lies the fragile state of her marriage to Mauricio Umansky, her husband of 27 years. Rumors had already started swirling in the media, but seeing the struggle play out on camera gives the situation a painful sense of reality. This season, the cracks in Kyle's relationship are not merely hinted at, they're laid bare. She's a woman who has everything but is coming to realize she might be on the brink of losing it all. As she confides in Lisa Rinna, who's returned to the show in a guest role, viewers get to see Kyle in a way they haven't before. She's not the confident, composed matriarch of the group, or even the stoic sister to Kim Richards, but rather a woman who feels unanchored and vulnerable, standing at the edge of a significant personal shift. The scenes between Kyle and Mauricio are some of the season's most heartbreaking moments. They sit across from each other, the warmth that once filled their interactions now replaced by a palpable tension. In one episode, Mauricio attempts to bridge the gap, but Kyle's distant gaze and reluctant nods make it clear that their connection is fraying. She's withdrawn, carrying an emotional weight that only her closest confidants can begin to understand. Friendships, too, are a source of unexpected isolation for Kyle. Erica Jane, who is often a polarizing figure herself, becomes a surprising pillar of support, recognizing the pain that Kyle is going through from her own recent experiences with divorce. The two bond in an episode where they share a quiet drink on Erica's balcony. I get it, Kyle, Erica says, her usually brash tone softened. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. It's a moment of clarity, an emotional connection that bridges their differences. Yet, even this camaraderie is bittersweet. As Kyle opens up, Erica's response reminds her that even empathy can't replace the comfort she once felt in her own home. The emotional weight doesn't stop there. Family dynamics come into play too, as Kyle grapples with her relationships with her sisters, Kathy Hilton and Kim Richards. Kathy's return to the show is laced with tension. For years, Kyle has tried to repair the fractures in their relationship, often to no avail. This season, Kathy's attitude seems even more distant, and fans see Kyle caught in the web of her family's unresolved issues. Kathy, whose presence has always had an air of intimidation, brings an edge of rivalry into the mix that leaves Kyle feeling alienated even within her family circle. The scenes with Kathy are challenging to watch. Viewers can feel the weight of years of misunderstanding, grudges, and secrets bubbling beneath the surface. Kyle's sisterly bond with Kim offers some comfort, but even that relationship carries the heavy baggage of their past. For all her years on RHOBH, Kyle now feels more like an outsider in her own family than ever before. Adding to the sense of isolation is the arrival of new cast member, Alyce Grant, a Beverly Hills socialite with a keen eye for drama and an uncanny knack for reading people. Alyce's entrance shifts the dynamics of the group as she effortlessly draws attention and brings a fresh energy to the scenes. With her quick wit and unapologetic attitude, Alyce has no qualms about probing into Kyle's personal life, sometimes pushing too hard and too fast. For Kyle, Alyce is both a reminder of her own vulnerability and a reflection of the tough persona she's learned to wear as armor over the years. While Kyle does find some companionship in Alyce, there's also a friction between them, a subtle sense that Kyle doesn't entirely trust her. Through all of this, Kyle's struggle to maintain her sense of self in a world where she feels increasingly isolated is both painful and relatable. In one poignant scene, she retreats to the quiet sanctuary of her home gym late at night. Alone, she turns on a playlist of old songs that she and Mauricio used to listen to, sinking into her thoughts as the camera captures the emptiness of the room around her. It's a powerful image, one that encapsulates the theme of loneliness that weaves through her storyline this season. As we move through each episode, it's evident that Kyle's journey this season is about finding the strength to face the cracks in her life, both personal and professional. In past seasons, she's leaned on her friends and family, finding comfort in the familiarity of her relationships. But this time, she's forced to confront the reality that she may be growing apart from the life she's spent years building. In the season finale, fans are left on a bittersweet note. Kyle stands in her backyard, looking out over the hills of Beverly Hills, a glass of wine in her hand. She's still surrounded by all the trappings of her successful life, the house, the fame, the fortune. But there's a new resolve in her expression. She's lonely, but not defeated. In a closing confessional, she reflects on her journey. Sometimes you have to let go of the things that no longer serve you, even if they're things you've loved for a long time. Maybe that's how you find out who you really are. This season, more than ever, Kyle Richards isn't just a housewife or a cast member on RHOBH. She's a woman rediscovering herself, reckoning with her past, and taking steps towards an uncertain but hopeful future. The loneliness she's experienced has pushed her to a place of raw vulnerability, but also perhaps to a new kind of strength. As the season draws to a close, fans are left with a sense that, no matter what happens, Kyle will find a way forward, even if she has to do it on her own.